Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. Are we going to get the presentation up? Not seeing it. OK, hi. I am Park. I am head of community at Heliax. We are one of many contributors that is working on Namada. And today, what I'm going to be speaking to you about is bringing modular privacy to the Interchain. So I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about what this is. But in order to start talking about what it is that Namada can do for the Cosmos, I think we have to ask ourselves first, what does the Cosmos care about, right? And I think there's any amount of debate that can come up around this question. But the central value props of the Cosmos ecosystem are we have app chains and interoperability. App chains meaning that you can have ecosystems that are built around very specific purposes and can be implementations that are very direct. And then interoperability, allowing all these protocols to interact with one another in a way that they can become interdependent, right? So having app chains and interoperability means that these chains can depend on one another for features and services, but it also means that chains can depend on one another to solve each other's problems, right? It's not just the sharing of liquidity, but it's also seeing that as one protocol works on one problem, maybe there's something that's missing and another protocol can offer that. And what this means is that the single chain thesis can be dead, right? We can have interaction that provides the means for resilience between domains. We've seen this already happen in the Cosmos. We've seen entire domains go down and it have marginal effect on the ecosystem. And it means that one chain is not going to rule them all. So interoperability, being in a required quality of all future blockchain technology, means that we can continue to engage in this collaboration and be more resilient. And I think, or we think, that this is the bet that the Cosmos is taking. So how can chains work together to solve problems? And what's missing in the Cosmos if we can interact with one another in order to build these guarantees for each other? Well, first off, there are implications for having blockchains public by default. So let's think about that a little bit. What does it mean for blockchains to be public by default? Well, it turns out, actually, it means every domain right now is public by default for the most part, unless you're specifically a privacy chain. And what this means is that all of your accounts, all of your history, all of your transactions, all of your interaction with that chain, all the way back to the beginning of the chain, is visible. It means that maybe entire businesses could be built around knowing who you are. So if all blockchains are public by default, and they can't retrofit privacy because of the way they've been built, this presents a problem for being able to work backward and correct the inability for maybe big businesses or even individuals to decipher who you are across the domains that you're interacting with. It also means that with current privacy networks, if you're isolated to your individual network, you can't share privacy between domains. So you have to ask the question, how do we fix that? So I'm going to speak a little bit about where we are in terms of the state of privacy. Right now, we have privacy as an asset, right? And that's useful, but only within the domains where you're doing it, right? Up until the present time, if you want to engage in privacy, you have to interact entirely within that individual domain. But IBC makes things interoperable, right? That's a fantastic utility function. The problem is, everyone can see what you're doing across the interchain. So not only can they see your entire history of interaction on the chain where you might have started from, but also every other chain that you connect to in the future. And you know what? That's probably not that private. So interoperability means you become more visible through these interactions if there's a way to link it back to your original account. So if we need to get to a point where we have privacy by default across all systems, and we need to figure out how to get there, there's probably something that we need here. We need a way to retrofit privacy to the domains that already exist. And Namada is building this as privacy as a service. we need a way to retrofit privacy to the domains that already exist, to all of the public blockchains that can accept this sort of implementation and are connectable through IBC or through bridging. And Namada probably solves this. So what is Namada? Let's talk a little bit more about that. Namada is a network united around bringing privacy to public blockchains and their users. And the way we do that is by providing the means for an asset-agnostic anonymity set and rewarding people who engage in privacy and giving people the means to operate privately from within Namada in other domains. It also provides governance through stewardship. Namada is built of a protocol, a community, and a token. And so I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about what each one of these can offer. So first of all, let's talk about the protocol. The protocol is a cubic proof-of-stake layer 1 that gives this initial offering to the domains that it's connected to. It provides asset-agnostic privacy to the Cosmos. So to break that apart, it's built out of 3 core modules: the unified shielded set, the ability to commit shielded actions from within the set, and the cubic proof-of-stake model. So I've been mentioning this asset-agnostic pool for a while now, and I don't think I've really given you a lot of detail on how it works. But for the Cosmos's purposes and for all domains that it's connected to, you can take your assets, bring them into the pool, and then they become anonymous. Pulling your assets into the pool turns them into tokens that cannot be identified to an account, but are still connected to your ability to use them. And the interesting quality of this is as you continue to add assets to the multi-asset shielded pool, you increase the anonymity of the overall set, which means that if more people engage in privacy, more privacy increases across the domains that can connect to the multi-asset shielded pool. And this is why we say that size matters. As the multi-asset shielded pool increases the amount of assets inside the pool, privacy goes up. And this affords the possibility for adjusting to the fact that privacy is not available across all the other across domains previous to Namada. So next I'm going to speak about what shielded actions are, which are what you can do from within the multi-asset shielded pool. If the multi-asset shielded pool has you holding your assets in there, that's great, but what can you do from there, right? Well, you can perform actions that allow you to transact outside of the multi-asset shielded pool, do something like a swap on osmosis, and then bring your assets back into the shielded set. And that entire action is made on a temporary account. It performs the action outside of the set, and it's returned to the set, and it's never associated with the original holder of the tokens unless you take them out of the set. So this allows you to engage in privacy at rest. This allows you to hold onto the guarantees that you have unlinkability from the actions that you perform across the Cosmos. And last, I'm going to speak about the cubic proof-of-stake model, which is the Sybil resistance method that we have in Namada. So cubic proof-of-stake allows for faster efficiency of verification by light clients, resulting in quicker overall state changes. Cubic slashing, which means that we keep validators honest. If they increase the amount of assets that they're holding inside or managing as validators, we penalize them if they put themselves at risk. And finally, auto-compounding rewards, which I think everyone will be very happy about, so you don't have to keep clicking the stake button on Kepler, on wallets in general. So then, additionally, we have to talk about the community that supports this protocol and how it is that they can contribute. So these are all of the users, validators, developers, all of those who maintain and sustain the network across its history and engage in making sure that the mission of Namada grows outward, participate in stewardship and in governance, and increase the anonymity of the unified shielded set. So that means every user who adds their assets to Namada, you can consider as a part of our community, because what you're doing is you're collaborating with other people who are engaging in privacy. And we reward you for it. So then we have the token, and we use this unit of account, the NAM token, to do fee payment, inflationary rewards for staking. So this gives us our summary of the pieces of what Namada can be, which is the protocol, yes, but it's also a network of individuals and technology and pieces that fit together to increase the anonymity set. And then all of them can use this NAM token as an incentive mechanism across the technology. So what's the outcome? I've explained to you, I gave you a pretty high-level understanding of Namada itself. But what's the outcome on that original vision we were talking about, where we said that we're trying to offer privacy to other domains? Well, if the app chain and interoperability thesis is correct, and an app chain can help out another domain, then maybe if we add Namada to the mix, we'll see some interesting effects. You'll start seeing a lot more private actions from within the multi-asset shielded pool, from the unified shielded set. You'll start increasing privacy across all domains, and then maybe the Cosmos can become a lot more private. So this is what Namada is. Namada is privacy as a service. And for the Cosmos, this means engaging in privacy across IBC, holding your assets within the multi-asset shielded pool, and earning rewards for this. It also means, and this isn't what I went into in this presentation, but ceding privacy to other domains, and we're built around this premise, right? It's not just for the Cosmos, but for anything that Namada can connect to. And this is what Namada is constructed around, and hopefully will become the start of a movement towards retrofitting privacy to public chains. So what can users do? Well, on the protocol itself, you can earn rewards by holding your assets in the set, which I can't stress enough is the greatest benefit of it. If you add your assets to the set, you increase privacy for other people. If you encourage others to engage in privacy, then they're also rewarded, and everyone collaborates towards increasing privacy. And then, of course, you can commit those shielded actions from within the multi-asset shielded pool. Each action can be atomic and won't be associated with your initial action. But then beyond that, you can ask yourself, we have a lot of developers here, we have a lot of people from different chains, from different validators. What is it that you can do? Well, on the most basic level, you can advocate for the use of privacy technology and engage in it, and utilizing Namada as you perform all your actions throughout the Cosmos. You can also identify privacy projects that exist out there and nominate them for public goods funding. And you could also run a validator on Namada. Any number of you that I've already met today who are validators, I want to continue these conversations and bring in an amazing set of validators who want to see this project continuing to go on. And the reason for this is that if we begin to use multi-asset shielded pools across domains that can be connected, then we will begin to increase privacy to a system that wasn't built to be private initially. This means that we can use the interoperability guarantees of the Cosmos to increase the guarantees of what privacy can mean to everyone. So you can join Namada in making this possible and increase privacy for all of those that are connected by IBC or who can be connected to Namada. And this means also building other multi-asset shielded pools in the future. But we believe to be the first. We believe to be contributing to a project that can be the first of many. So with that, I want to make a few announcements. I think you all will be very interested by these. So the first one is that I want to announce the drop of our new website. So you can use the new website to learn a lot more about the protocol, and continue to understand why it is that this implementation exists and how it is that you can engage with it. So this is very useful. This means that you can engage in privacy advocacy and how it is that the multi-asset shielded pool that Namada has can be utilized to increase overall privacy, as well as understanding that it is a collaborative effort, that public goods funding is something that should be a core implementation and core piece of how it is that all users interact with ecosystems. So that's the first one. And the second one, I want to announce the drop of our incentivized testnet program, right? So if you're a validator, I'd like for you to speak with us. We will be releasing more information on what the incentivized testnet program will look like in the near future. So join our Discord, follow us on Twitter so you can learn more about it. And then finally, I want to announce the drop of NAM, the token of the Namada ecosystem, as an airdrop to Atom holders. So what I want from all of you today is that you join the Namada community. You can either follow us on Twitter or join us on Discord so that we can continue to advocate for privacy as a core piece of the technology that we move forward. And understand that it is possible to retrofit privacy to the domains that already exist and correct for some of the issues that have been a part of how we've built blockchains into the current era. Privacy is a collaborative effort. And in building Namada, this is the vision. Your collaboration with Namada will encourage this forward. So with that, thank you, and I hope to see you in the Discord.